Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jennifer Abney.
And I'm Rob Macko. It was a pain felt by everyone. The April 2007 shooting at Virginia Tech, which cost more than 30 lives.
Christina Anderson was a student during that nightmare and is in Huntington right now, where she'll be speaking. 13 News reporter Tiffany Lopez has more on how Anderson is raising awareness on making campuses safer.
At the time, it was the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. The Virginia Tech tragedy left 33 dead and dozens injured. Christina Anderson was one of those injured. She was 19 at the time and was shot several times while in class. The VT graduate says it's taken several years to understand how not to relive it every day.
I've spoken to a therapist about it in excruciating detail for years. And so at this point, I've made sure that anything I say, I've already processed and have spoken about, cried about with a trained professional.
Now, Anderson visits schools across the nation, including Marshall University today, providing firsthand knowledge of the threats schools currently face. Her message is lessons learned as a survivor of the Virginia Tech tragedy.
The case of the Virginia Tech, we had about 2.5 years of behaviors that were not really reported or shared.
She says she tells schools to take note of faculty and students who may pose a risk to themselves or others.
It can feel very awkward to say, I think my roommate might hurt themselves, or I think that teacher is going through a hard time.
She says it's imperative when people know something isn't right, they tell someone, because getting resources to someone who needs help and helping them feel connected ahead of time decreases the chances of violence. In 2007, Marshall University did something that colleges all over the nation did. They honored Virginia Tech with a ceremony right here at Marshall Memorial Fountain, and Anderson says that support still means something today.
It brings a little bit of tear, as I told you I was going to start crying, because it means so much to think that others that they didn't know us, right? They didn't know the students, that they prayed, that they made signs, that they gathered and took that time to share in our pain and our grief.
Anderson says time does heal, but she adds it's important to never forget, because that's how you work to prevent it from happening again. In Huntington, Tiffany Lopez, 13 News, working for you.
Tiffany tells us Anderson is actually speaking right now at Marshall University in the Don Morse Room at the Memorial Student Center.